Alright, so this is where I left off in the last video. I was going to pull the motor, but I got stuck because I forgot these sockets, so I brought them home today. I needed those so I can pull the axles out and pull the tranny with the motor. So I'm going to take all of it out. So before I'm going to pull this motor out, I'm going to go get a new motor, or I'm picking up a motor. Someone's selling one in Wyoming, so just waiting on Isaiah to come here. We're gonna go pick it up. So I said in the last video that this is a stock head. What I meant by that was it's stock cam and valves and springs. It does have oversized exhaust valves and it's ported, but the threads for the bolts that hold the valve cover down are broken off. And I don't want to just replace the rocker assembly because on these heads they're line honed to fit the cam. So you can't just mix and match parts on these heads, or else it will wear the cam down or it won't run right. So I'll just have to get a new head and then build that one. That'll eliminate this leaking problem, which will be nice. So anytime I park it, it won't have oil all over the ground. Alright, so we just got into Wyoming. We're about to go to the guy's house and pick up this motor. And then we'll head back.
Drive 0.4 miles, then turn left on K Avenue.
Oh. Oh, look at the sunset, guys. It's so pretty. Hello! He thought his view was good, but mine's better. So the guy isn't home yet, so we went over to Killian's house since he lived literally around the block.
Is he really right down the block?
Pretty much.
Cheyenne.
Yeah, everything's down the block.
Everything's around the block.
He has my intake and exhaust manifold for the B18, so I'm gonna grab that while we're here. Cause I never come up to Wyoming because it's trash. Alright, we just got back home. It's a full D16 Z6 with a 5-speed tranny and a bunch of parts for it. So the dude hooked it up. He gave all this for $80. So I've got a new head and we're just gonna move this stuff inside real quick. There's not much room. Oh yeah, and I don't think we ever told anyone that Pike's truck's done. It's been done for a while.
Oh, god damn it, you all. It's all over your pants. Oh, man.
Royal. Oh, my foot's slipping. What's that? What's on our roof? Did you see that? It's like a cat or something.
Yes. Is this like a shitty improv thing that I'm supposed to do?
That's a distraction while we threw those tires in your truck.
God damn it.
Got him. The one downside to flip-flops is when you spill oil all over your kits, just in between the toes. It's a terrible feeling. Yeah, it's way too late, so I'm gonna pull this tomorrow. Plus I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, so all dumb. Alright, so I know you guys have been waiting to see what kind of turbo I'm going for. Here it is. It's gonna be the one I'm gonna use. It's a KO3. So I'm basically just looking for something that can spool fast. I don't really need a lot of power. It's just gonna be just for fun, pretty much.
Just for funsies.
So I can have a nice flat power band, maybe sit around 200 horsepower. Just kidding, someone gave me that. This is the turbo I'm going with. So it's a CX Racing T76, so 76 mil. It's a T4 flange. My manifold's a T3.
There we go.
So I bought one of the rotating adapters so it can sit a little higher, because my plan is to have this thing stick out the hood. If it wasn't ridiculous enough making this car, it's a piece of shit fast, I want it to look just ridiculous too. Nice. And here's a 4-pack of it.
Yeah.
So it's big. Alright. Help!
I have pollen and I cannot get up.
I have taken a tumble and I cannot rumble.
Oh my god. That one was a lot easier.
So the key is, when you don't have a tool, you find one out of anything.
Hell yeah.
That shit gonna be definitely. So I forgot my crescent wrenches, so we're using 2 vice grips.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yes.
Hey. Nice.
Right there. One in here.
Do one of these bolts fit?
What?
These bolts already on it?
What?
What are you doing?
Probably. Alright, it's probably gonna fall. You know what? Oh. Oh. That's actually pretty level. I thought it was gonna be way worse.
Nice.
Okay, good. Whoa.
Now you're hooked onto the frame. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Just till it touches. That's good. set up. I guess I'll see if I could throw it up there myself. Hopefully I don't damage the toes. Oh, actually, perfect timing because Aaron just showed up. This Subi. And he's a big ass dude. What up?
What you up to?
You want to lift that thing and put it on the stand?
I can. Do you want me?
Yeah.
I think I can. Where?
That blue thing slides into here. Oh, you've got the flops on too. Jesus. Alright, ready? Go up, tilt it up. There we go.
Good enough. Eh?
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
There we go. So this is Aaron. This is Subaru. We're gonna go do some brakes on it real quick at the shop. So this thing's super clean. Yeah, those rotors are just done for.
They're shot.
So we won't go too in depth on all this, but just show you guys kind of the steps. Every vehicle is going to be pretty similar to do brakes. So you take these off, pull the caliper off, take the brake pads out, and then take the caliper bracket off. Because after you get that off, you can take the rotor out. So we'll go ahead and do one side. Bottom one.
Always make sure. Don't put too much tension on that brake line. Would be ideal if we had a bungee cord or something.
You just put it rest up top. That's what I usually do.
Rest it right there. Oh,
those were shot. There's usually a little wear bar there, like on that side.
These were shot.
Up top here, it's past the wear.
Look at that.
Alright, if you can't get them off, there's these little screw holes that you can screw a bolt into. It loosens it up. Makes it way easier.
Yeah.
Alright, and then you just have to compress the pistons. This tool makes it really easy, but you can use like a C-clamp from Home Depot if you don't have one of these. But I found this is the easiest way to do it. So then you grease the caliper just a little on the pistons and this backside. You just want to grease anything metal to metal, and obviously don't grease the rotor or the pad itself. Put these back in. Be super tight, but tight enough. Awesome. And that's how you do it. So, we're not going to film all four, you get the idea. And obviously there's more in-depth tutorials. Alright, we just got all four done. So, back to working on the wagon. Hopefully someone can learn something from this. Alrighty.
Aside from my soul, there goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think a fall angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul.
Alright, a couple things I've noticed so far. So there's metal for sure somewhere. You see, just this oil is kind of metallic. The VTEC solenoid has a screen in there. You can see some metal shavings. You can see the outside of the sleeves kind of starting to rust.
I think a fall angel just walked by. I think a fall angel just walked by. I think a fall angel just walked by. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my there goes a sight.
Alright, so just like I suspected, one of the pistons is cracked. Just a tiny amount of scoring on the inside of the cylinder walls. So I guess I'll decide if I want to bore it out or save it, keep it 20 over. Let's see, which one was it? Yeah, so number 3. It's always number 3. Yep, it's cracked. That's what that metal was from, in the pan and in the motor a little. But I'll decide on what I want to do. And in the meantime, I'll get everything else ordered so I can rebuild it. And when I get all this stuff ready, I will live stream it. So I'll give everyone a heads up before I do it. So for those of you that want to watch, you can. But that's gonna call it for this video. We'll see you guys next time. I wasn't saying to film. I got oil in my hair.